Archaeologists have been digging here for more than 200 years. It's the most intact example of a Roman city in the world.
Well, there it is, the Hand of Faith, the world's largest nugget.
Imagine discovering a hidden treasure that's been lost for millennia. That's exactly what happened under the floors of an old Roman bathhouse in England, where archaeologists unearthed tiny gemstones once worn by wealthy Romans. And this isn't the only jaw-dropping find. From a rare Fabergé egg worth $33 million to ancient chess pieces revealing courage in Auschwitz, these discoveries are rewriting history in the most unexpected ways. Get ready for a mind-boggling journey into the past. Rare Blue Room in Pompei. Speaking of ancient discoveries, Pompei offers another fascinating window into the Roman world, where the eruption of Mount Vesuvius preserved life as it was over 2,000 years ago. Around the 1st century, Pompei was a lively seaside town in southwest Italy. It was a favorite spot for important people in the Roman Empire. The streets were smooth and lined with fancy homes and villas. To stay dry when it rained, people could walk on tall sidewalks and stepping stones. For fun, they went to public baths, watched gladiator fights and chariot races, and enjoyed plays. But in 79 Anno Domini, a huge eruption from Mount Vesuvius changed everything. The volcano buried Pompeii and nearby Herculaneum under thick layers of ash and rock. Thousands of years later, archaeologists are still finding amazing things in the ruins of Pompeii.
In the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, the old Roman city of Pompeii, preserved in volcanic ash for centuries.
They've discovered everything from kids' drawings to a painting of flatbread that looks like pizza, plus the remains of over 1,000 people. Recently, on May 27, 2024, they found a beautiful shrine in an area that had never been explored before. The room was decorated with rare blue paint, showing scenes of the seasons, farming, and even sheep. It held big vases, bronze jugs, and even empty oyster shells, which might have been saved to mix into plaster. The blue color is especially rare because it was very costly and had to be brought in from faraway places like Egypt. This made the blue shrine an exciting and special find. Secret chess pieces under floorboards at Auschwitz. But sometimes, historical finds aren't just about beauty or daily life. They also reveal moments of unimaginable suffering, like the discovery of a small chess set in the heart of Auschwitz. Auschwitz concentration camp was set up in 1940 by Nazi Germany, originally as a prison for Polish people. But over the next few years, it became one of the most deadly camps.
The Nazi regime established the first of the Auschwitz camps, chilling writing on its main gates translated as "work makes you free,"
where many people suffered terribly and even lost their lives. Life in the camp was brutal, and sometimes the tortured prisoners would try to escape their pain by playing games like chess or cards. Sadly, just having these games was very risky. Anyone caught with them could be punished or even killed. In 2024, the Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial and Museum found something surprising in an old part of the camp. During renovations, workers found a small handmade chess set hidden under the floor. There were 35 cardboard pieces with simple drawings of chess figures like pawns, rooks, and knights. Though they looked worn, they were in pretty good shape after so many years. This chess set will now be shown in the museum, alongside other items. The head of the museum's collection shared that these pieces were made to be easy to hide from guards. This discovery shows how brave prisoners found small ways to connect and feel a bit of hope in such a dark time. Fabergé egg. While some treasures come from war and hardship, others are found in unexpected places, like a scrap dealer in the United States who stumbled upon a golden egg with a royal history. This man who buys scrap metal from a market in the United States bought a golden egg for a few dollars, thinking it was just scrap. He planned to sell it for its metal value, but to his surprise, it turned out to be a rare Fabergé egg worth about $33 million. The egg, which was once owned by Russian royalty, was almost melted down because no one knew how special it was.
Egg bought for a few $1,000s at a market in the US is going on show to the public for the first time in more than a century.
It was a gift from Alexander III to his wife, Empress Maria Feodorovna, in 1887. Inside, it holds a Vacheron Constantin watch. The man had no idea it was so valuable until he searched for the words egg and Vacheron Constantin online one night and found a news article about it. After reading the article, he realized the egg was special. He showed pictures of it to an expert in London, who confirmed it was the lost treasure. The egg had been missing for many years and was thought to be lost. It had been sold in New York in 1964 for just $1,500 without anyone knowing its true value. Now, the egg is with a private collector. It's an amazing discovery that almost disappeared forever. Ring of Charlotte Bronte. In fact, such surprises aren't limited to hidden treasures from royal families. Sometimes treasures are found in the most unlikely of places, like attics, where people uncover pieces of history tied to famous figures. One woman in 2019 found a ring with the name C. Bronte on it, and she was in for a big surprise. She told the expert, Jeffrey Munn, that she found the ring in a box in her father-in-law's attic after he passed away. She opened the box and found the ring, which also had the date when the famous author died. She was excited and said it gave her goosebumps, but that wasn't all. When she opened the ring's hidden hinge, she found a lock of hair inside. The expert Munn was amazed, saying it wasn't unusual to keep a lock of someone's hair back then as a way to remember them. Munn believed the ring was real and said it could be worth a lot. If it wasn't linked to Charlotte Bronte, the ring would have been worth about 25 pounds, but because of the special connection, it was valued at 20,000 pounds, or around $26,000. Some people might think it could be worth even more because of the tiny braid of hair inside. Rare blue lobster. Similarly, nature itself often holds rare gems, like a blue lobster caught off the coast of Maine.
Boat crew made a once-in-a-blue-moon find Thursday morning. This was in Marblehead while preparing for Hurricane Lee,
showing that treasures can come in all forms, both man-made and natural. A father and son in Maine caught a very special blue lobster, which scientists say is a very rare find. About 1 in 2 million lobsters are blue. The lobster was caught by Luke Rand, 36, while he was fishing with his dad, Mark, off Peaks Island. Luke works as his dad's sternman on their boat, the Audrey B. Rand. This isn't the first time they've found a rare lobster. They've also caught orange and calico lobsters before. Luke has been fishing with his dad since he was 8 years old, and his dad has been fishing for over 60 years. After they caught the lobster, they decided to show it off at Becky's Diner, the family restaurant in Portland. They named the lobster Lucky Blue because instead of being cooked, it would be returned to the ocean in 2 weeks. The New England Aquarium even has a blue lobster, along with other rare-colored lobsters like orange, calico, and even a Halloween lobster that is half black and half orange. However, most lobsters are brown and turn red when cooked, so Lucky Blue is very special. New kind of orchid found in northern Ecuador. And while blue lobsters are rare, another recent discovery from nature, a new species of orchid, shows just how much more there is to uncover about our planet's incredible biodiversity. This new kind of orchid found in the cloud forests of northern Ecuador in 2022 is called Maxillaria anacatalina portili, and it has bright yellow flowers. The discovery was made by scientists from Poland, who worked with a company in Ecuador that grows and studies orchids. This orchid only grows in a small area in Carchi province, which makes it very rare and in danger because of climate change and human activities. The discovery was helped by a local nursery that had already been growing these orchids. The study was shared in a journal called Phytokeys. The scientists from the University of Gdansk in Poland have been studying orchids for many years. They traveled to South America to find and study these amazing plants.
Fantastic. I'm absolutely thrilled. Made my day. Much more so than it had already been made, so.
The first time this orchid was found was by Alex Portilla, a photographer from Equigenera, in 2003. He took pictures of the orchid in the wild and later grew it in his company's greenhouses. The scientists later confirmed that this plant was a new species. They named it after Alex Portilla's daughter, Anna Catalina Portilla Schroeder, to honor him for discovering it. Secrets of the Lost Book. From the natural world to ancient texts, technology is now allowing us to unlock secrets once thought lost forever, like a scroll buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius that might hold clues to the history of Alexander the Great's successors. A 2,000-year-old lost book about the leaders who followed Alexander the Great might finally be read after being damaged in the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. This ancient text was later passed to Napoleon Bonaparte. The breakthrough comes thanks to machine learning, a type of artificial intelligence. Researchers are using it to read the faint ink on a papyrus scroll. It's probably a lost work, said Richard Janko, a professor at the University of Michigan. The text, though damaged, has some readable parts. It mentions Macedonian generals like Seleucus, who ruled parts of the Middle East, and Cassander, who took control of Greece after Alexander's death. This scroll was found in the Villa of the Papyri in Herculaneum, a city destroyed by the volcano. The villa was known for its large collection of scrolls, many written by philosopher Philodemus. The scrolls were burned when the volcano erupted, and in 1804, Napoleon sent them to Paris. In 1986, an attempt to open the scroll caused more damage. But now, with the help of machine learning, researchers are slowly reading more of the text. Deer antlers. In a similar way, discoveries made by researchers continue to rewrite history.
Our texts were edited, and we lost tremendous amounts of information.
Such as the surprising find of ancient deer antlers that are not only the oldest animal bones in Southeast Asia, but also the earliest known stringed instruments. In the 1990s, 2 deer antlers were found in Vietnam. At first, they were thought to be just old artifacts. However, after sitting in a museum for many years, experts discovered that they were much more important. The antlers turned out to be the oldest animal bones found in Southeast Asia, and even more surprisingly, the first known stringed instruments from the region. These antlers, about 13.7 inches long, probably came from a type of deer called the sambar, or Indian hog deer. They are believed to be over 2,000 years old, from a time before the Archaeological culture in the Mekong Delta. In 2012 and 2016, researchers from Australia took another look at the antlers. They figured out that the antlers were not just tools, but early stringed instruments. One antler had a round hole at the end, which might have held a peg to tune a string. The other had grooves where a string could have been attached. The researchers think these antlers were early string instruments, similar to modern ones used in Vietnam today. This discovery shows that music in Vietnam goes back a very long time and is connected to the country's deep history. Rare mineral inside a meteorite. And just like these antlers reveal new insights into the past, the discovery of rare minerals inside a massive meteorite found in Somalia sheds light on the origins of our very planet and the mysteries of the universe. In 2020, a big meteorite weighing 33,000 pounds was found in Somalia. It's one of the biggest meteorites ever found. Researchers discovered 2 new minerals inside it, never seen before on Earth. Chris Hurd, a professor at the University of Alberta, says finding a new mineral means the rock was formed in a way we haven't seen before, which is really exciting. A small piece of the meteorite was sent to the University of Alberta, where the new minerals were found. One was named Yrite, after the meteorite's discovery location, El Ali, in Somalia. The other was named Elkinstantonite, after Lindy Elkins Tanton, a scientist who studies how planets form. Hurd worked with scientists from the University of California, Los Angeles and Caltech to study the meteorite. While analyzing it, Andrew Lowcock quickly noticed that 2 new minerals were there. This was surprising because it usually takes more work to find new minerals. The scientists are still studying these minerals to learn about the meteorite's past. They hope these discoveries might even lead to new uses for the minerals in the future. The meteorite is now being studied in China, and researchers hope they can get more pieces for study. Ancient artifact in Naric. While meteorites provide exciting scientific insights, the ancient artifacts found in Naric also offer fascinating glimpses into history. A team of scientists from different countries found some very old things in an ancient city by the Black Sea called Naric. They found hazelnut shells and pieces of wood that were cut with bronze tools. These items are about 3,000 years old. The team was digging near a temple, and the items were discovered in what they believe was a special pool of water for the Hittite people, who lived long ago. The hazelnut shells showed that the nuts came from the Black Sea area, which helped the scientists learn more about the people who lived there. The items were wet when they were found because they had been underwater for so long. This discovery helps us understand more about the past and how people lived in that area a long time ago. 2,000-year-old gemstones. Under the floors of an old Roman bathhouse in Carlisle, England, near Hadrian's Wall, archaeologists found a special surprise: a bunch of tiny gemstones. These colorful gems, like amethyst and jasper, were dropped by rich bathers around 2,000 years ago. People likely lost them from their rings while relaxing in the hot, steamy baths. Back then, rings were often set with vegetable glue, so the heat might have loosened the stones. The gemstones are small, carved with images of Roman gods of luck, the sun, war, and more. Some stones are as big as 0.6 inches, and others are tinier than 0.2 inches, so carving these designs took a lot of skill. Since gems like these were expensive, It's believed only wealthy Romans wore them. Finding gems in bathhouses isn't totally new. Similar ones have turned up in other Roman baths. These carved stones, called intaglios, were used to make seals, almost like a signature, when pressed into clay or wax. Many Romans also liked wearing intaglios with pictures of their favorite thinkers. Alongside these gems, the team found over 40 women's hairpins, 35 glass beads, and other Roman items, like pottery and coins. The lead archaeologist said they're excited to keep exploring, as this site seems to have endless secrets. Hidden Bible fragment.
And that is because today we are going to be talking about the lost books of the Bible. Also, how do you all like the get-up?
In a similar vein, the recent discovery of a hidden Bible fragment sheds light on the ancient past, much like the treasures found in Carlisle. Imagine peeling away old wallpaper in a house to reveal hidden designs from long ago. Now picture this happening on a much smaller yet more important scale. A 1750-year-old Bible fragment. Grigory Kessel, a scholar from Austria, used special ultraviolet light and his knowledge of ancient Syriac writing to uncover this lost text. The Bible fragment had been hiding under layers of other writing on an old piece of parchment. This parchment has been in the Vatican Library for years. The parchment is called a palimpsest. In the past, people reused old parchment by erasing the old writing and writing new text on top. Kessel used ultraviolet light to see through the newer layers and reveal the hidden gospel from long ago. This discovery is important because it shows an early translation of the Gospels, made more than 1600 years ago. It's also special because it was written in Syriac, the language that Jesus is believed to have spoken. Thanks to modern technology, we can uncover lost pieces of history, giving us a chance to learn about the past in new ways. This discovery proves how digital tools help bring old texts back to life. Discovery of Yrite. Just as ancient texts resurface, Yrite, a glowing stone recently discovered in Michigan.
Over the last few weeks, we've told you about Yrlites and how to find them. Today, in our final installment in this series,
brings its own mystery to light. Yrite was first discovered in 2017 along the coast of Lake Superior in Michigan. It's a special kind of stone called syenite, with tiny pieces of another mineral called sodalite inside. When you shine ultraviolet light on Yrite, it glows in a bright orange or yellow color, which looks really cool. This fascinating discovery is owed to Michigan man Eric Rintamaki, who also holds the aforementioned trademark that resulted from a seemingly innocent shoreline stroll late one evening. Strolling onto the shoreline at 4 a.m. one fateful morning back in June of 2017, using his new UV light, Eric would make his initial discovery after finding two small Yrlites, each about the size of a dime. When shown on with a UV light, to his surprise, these small stones emitted what is now a distinguishable teal-yellowish luminescent glow. Some spiritual people believe Yrite can help bring clarity and help with self-expression, making your life feel brighter and more focused. The stone got its name from the word Yper, which is what people from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan are called. Oldest Christian church in Artaxata. Speaking of hidden discoveries, archaeologists from Armenia and Germany have discovered an old Christian church in the ancient city of Artaxata. This church is very important because it's the oldest Christian church ever found in Artaxata.
Archaeologists have uncovered the remains of the oldest known church in Armenia dating back to the 4th century.
Built in the 4th century, the church is octagonal and has cross-shaped extensions. This type of church is new to Armenia, but common in the eastern Mediterranean area. The church is about 30 meters wide and has a simple floor made of mortar and terracotta tiles. Some marble artifacts were found, suggesting the church was decorated with materials brought from faraway places. The researchers also found wooden platforms in the church, which were built in the middle of the 4th century. These discoveries show how early Christianity grew in Armenia, a country that became the first Christian nation in the world. This church is close to Khor Virap, a monastery that also holds a lot of history. Artaxata, the city where the church was found, used to be the capital of ancient Armenia and played a big part in the country's past. The archaeologists will keep digging to learn more about the church, including who it was built for. Treasures found in Kazakhstan. Ancient treasures like those found in Kazakhstan further reveal the rich connections and craftsmanship of past civilizations. Archaeologists in southern Kazakhstan found ancient treasures in burial mounds that are around 2,000 years old. These items include gold jewelry, arrowheads, and a large bronze mirror. The items are believed to be from the time of the Kangju state. a group that ruled the area from about the 5th century before Christ to the 4th century Anno Domini. These finds show how skilled the people in the region were at making things. The Kangju traded with places like ancient Rome, China, and the Kushan Empire.
Kangju state traded with ancient Rome, ancient China, and the Kushan Empire farther south.
One of the most interesting items is the bronze mirror, which looks like it came from China during the Han Dynasty. This type of mirror was valuable in many places, and it likely belonged to a wealthy and important woman. Other items found include a Roman-style brooch, beads, a pottery jug, a shoe, a belt buckle, and a gold earring set. The earrings are especially beautiful, made from a special gold, and decorated with turquoise and rubies in the shape of a crescent moon and grapes. The artifacts were discovered in 3 burial mounds in Turkestan's Ordobasinski district. 2 of the mounds had been looted in the past, but one still held valuable treasures. These findings will be displayed at the National Museum of Kazakhstan. Rare Yrite fragments found in Germany. As ancient artifacts continue to baffle experts and laymen alike, the rare asteroid that entered Earth's atmosphere reminds us of the universe's wonders. In the early morning of January 21, 2024, an asteroid about 3 feet long broke through Earth's atmosphere. It burned up in a bright fireball that could be seen across Europe, and then the pieces crashed near Berlin, Germany. Scientists went to collect the fragments and discovered something rare. These rocks were part of a special type of meteorite called Yrite, which are very hard to find. Before this event, only 80 out of around 70,000 meteorite pieces had been classified as Yrite. Yrite are mysterious because scientists don't know where they come from yet. Some think they might come from the Nysa asteroid family, the asteroid 3103 Ager, or even from Mercury. These meteorites make up only 1% of all known meteorites, which makes them very rare. After news spread, people began searching in Ribbeck, near Berlin, for more fragments. Yrite are tricky to find because they look like ordinary gray rocks, not the dark, glossy ones most meteorites have. It took a lot of hard work, but eventually, researchers found more than 20 pieces. This discovery will help scientists learn more about where Yrite come from and how our solar system formed. Ancient coins. In 2023, archaeologists in Pakistan discovered an exceedingly rare trove of copper coins reported to be over 2,000 years old in the ruins of a Buddhist shrine built at the even older site of Mohenjo-Daro. The coins and stupa are thought to date from the Kushan Empire, a primarily Buddhist polity that ruled the region from around the 2nd century BC to the 3rd century AD, conquering Alexander the Great's Greco-Bactrian kingdom in Central Asia. The shrine is among the huge ruins of Mohenjo-Daro in what is now southeast Pakistan, which date back to roughly 2600 BC and are from the ancient Indus Valley, or Harappan civilization. According to archaeologist and guide Sheikh Javed Ali Sindhi, the stupa was built on the top of deserted ruins of Mohenjo-Daro after its decline, around 1600 years later. Sindhi was part of the team that unearthed the coin hoard at Mohenjo-Daro earlier this month during a salvage excavation at the site when a wall collapsed. The new-found coins are colored green because copper corrodes when exposed to air. Centuries of corrosion have also fused the coins into a single lump that weighs about 12 pounds. But a few coins have been found separately. The fused hoard probably consisted of between 1,000 and 1,500 individual coins. Some of the outer coins of the fused hoard depict a standing figure, which the researchers think is probably a depiction of a Kushan king. The coins are the first artifacts unearthed at the stupa's ruins since 1931, when British archaeologist Ernest Mackay unearthed more than 1,000 copper coins there. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.